GM, ladies, gentlemen, and fantasy top enjoyers, one and all. Welcome to another exciting episode of Fantasy Top Down. I am one half of your hosting duo this morning, Silva Surger, and my normal co-host Ezrin is taking a family vacation, so we will see him in just a week or two. Hope he's having a blast with the kiddos and the wife. But taking his place, we have the incomparable, really just the top one of the top, if not the top, kind of streamers and content creators in the fantasy top space. We have the one and only Carpenter of Web3. Carpenter, how are you doing this morning, Brody?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, doing really well. It's been a great for just super excited for like the future goals, and also it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, man, I feel the same way. Just want to say thank you for stopping by and making the time to come on. I know, like you said, it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for you this morning, doing a little driving around. So that just shows how locked in and how passionate you are in for fantasy top in the community and giving the people what they want. Not even a phone call from the wife can keep you from, talking fantasy top, which we love to see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's like it's pretty much like all I do all the time, anyways. Like I joke around about it at like on the timeline, like on the shows I host and stuff, and yeah, it's like instead of nighttime bedtime stories, we talk like fantasy lineups, and like at dinner we talk fantasy lineups. So, um, like yeah, it's just the carpenter household like pastime. So definitely just part of the norms now. And yeah, nothing getting in the way of me in fantasy. So
Dude, I love that. And in case you're looking to adopt a fully grown adult into the Carpenter household, I would love to be there at bedtime. You tuck me in, we do a little lineup building. Sounds like a perfect night.
absolutely anytime.
Oh man. Well, we are here. We just finished up with tournament number 4 of season 3. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into it because, bro, we already have rewards out. Looking at the activity tab here, I know everyone is buying, selling, burning. I've already seen quite a few, really nice cards be pulled, quite a few Jesse Pollocks, a couple dip wheelers. So, I'm ready and raring to go. Talk about some rewards. You ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. I have not claimed mine yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. One reward to claim. Tournament number 61. Crazy to think how far we've come, man. Um, but yeah, so let's see. Claim my winnings. Actually had a pretty nice week for myself. I think the best one in quite a while. I think I had a top 20 finish in gold, which was super nice. Ended up with almost zero point zero 0.06 ETH. So excited to burn right through that, kind of upgrading some of my lineups. Already have some bids out that I'm sure we'll talk about later. So nice amount of ETH. 770 frags, so I'll get 7 or 8 nice cards here to hopefully add to the portfolio, and of course some fan points, which that will turn into something worth a lot of money down the line. I have a fair idea. But yeah, just looking through my performance here, my best lineup, 17th place in gold. So pretty happy with that. Led by Based Carbon coming in at 15th place. He's been on a heater. I mean, he's been damn near, a must play in all your best lineups for the last couple of weeks or months. Gwart also had a great week, 30th place. Jeff Park, 40th. And then honestly, probably the biggest one was Waz being a 1 star, but back from vacation finished 26th. So when you have a 1 star like that, that's just crazy work, man. So yeah, felt really good about my gold rewards. Had some other decent, had another gold lineup that finished, I think 100th or 120th, so pretty decent there. And then some silvers that were, maybe 2 to 300, a couple bronze that netted me some frags. So all in all, you got to be happy with that. So very excited with how I performed there. I know you're on the road right now, but have you claimed your winnings? Did you look how your lineups did, or are you kind of still waiting until you get home to look at all that?
Yeah, rewards came out right before like I actually took off. um, and flew up here. And then like I thought I had it timed perfectly to where I get there, drop the laptop off with the wife, and then like make it back home. But of course, living an hour from the city, nothing ever goes as planned. So, but yeah, no, I grabbed them, and then I did pretty well. I stayed above like my threshold. It wasn't my best week, like, but I ended up with above the threshold. I like to be about 1,000 frags per week. So I got like around 1,100 frags and like 0.01 ETH. But my silver decks, so lately I've been kind of doing like one or two silver decks, like I want to be competitive. Usually led by like Vo when she's like a 6 or 7 star. But this week I didn't have Waz, so I definitely why I didn't go real heavy into silver. My silver decks didn't do as well. I kind of forgot that Bread was still doing the Mega Mafia 2 stuff this week. And so I had him in my best deck, and which I should have known better because like I could have just reached out and said, "Hey, are you gonna post this week?" But I don't like doing that either. Um, but yeah, he like hindsight, right? I could have looked back at like listened to some of his old recordings from, uh, which is like what I do for a little bit for research. I'll read like especially like if Bo was in a space and it was recorded, I'll go back and listen to it. And then Brett is on Modern Market 3 days a week, so I like to go in there, or I think it's two this week and last week. But I'll go and listen to that. And he did say um, that he was going to kind of be less active, just briefly in that, so I should have known. But other than that, my farming decks did pretty well. I averaged about the just under the 150 frags per farming deck that I like to grab. I am upgrading quite a few, like getting away from the like. So I've set a threshold of like 750. Um, if common can't score me 750 in the farming deck, I won't. I'll just kind of cut it loose.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it's I did pretty well, not as well as I wanted to, but I think I got. We'll talk about it later. There's some people I'm looking at to pick up. I didn't want to like. I know there's kind of like segments, but yeah. So when we get into the who we're looking at stuff, I think there's some really good people this week.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm on your profile now, looking kind of through your because you can see how everyone else performs. So looking through your decks, and yeah, man, you had some heaters in here, and just I mean, outside of just your lineup construction and composition, just looking through here, I man, I am jealous of some of these cards you have. Just that ICO beast, several star platinum commons. Like, oh boy, I mean, a rare CL doing really hot. The rare couple rare Vos, it looks like rare Jez, rare Rasmer. Man, you have some pretty cards there. Rare Clemente. You got your boy HK right here. You love to see it. Man, these are heaters. Oh, rare Kaleo right here. Yeah, so I definitely see where you're coming from, and even in elite, you're farming those frags, gold, farming frags. So getting to that that 1,000 frag kind of floor that you're talking about, I do really love that because I mean you just keep getting to churn out a high amount of cards every week, and something we'll talk about in just a minute here. The floor's been up, floor is rising, so the more cards you stack that way, whether you end up selling them if they're just kind of trash 1 or 2 stars, or end up burning them for more frags till you eventually hit a really nice common or rare card. I do love that way that you kind of approach it with that mindset.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been really like. HK is like really commended me on is like so my smolting and my star platinum, like pretty much all the ones I've upgraded myself. I because back in like when we HK and I first started the deck building series, I was very eager. Like I didn't like waiting. I'd have FOMO, and so I'd just buy market like throughout the whole week. Well, now I'll just wait like weeks. Like for the smolting or inverse bro, same like
Yeah.
tomato tomato, but they I ended up getting an average cost for the commons, so I pulled two of them, and I don't average those in, but like for the three I had to buy, I put bids in. It took me about a month to get them, but it was like I think it was I got all of them between 0.01 like 6 and 0.018, um, and
Wow.
so it was really same with the star platinums. I got them relatively cheap too, um, like I think around 0.04,
Wow.
0.03.
I mean, I was looking because I've pulled 1 star platinum from a pack, so that's the only one I have. But I was looking at it this morning trying to put in, a couple of bids, and I think Star Platinum, yeah, I mean his common floor is about point 0.1 right now, man. So if you got him, I mean you got him for over a 50% discount. That is incredible work.
I stopped bidding. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I have some bids in, but they're definitely under. Even the floor bid is 0.07 ETH, which I mean he's definitely worth it. He is such a top tier hero, but man, that gets expensive if you're trying to build any of him out. And I mean, looking at the screen right now, he has 0 listed cards for rare, epic, or legendary. He only has commons listed, which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. What hero are you talking about?
Star Platinum.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to get a rare for him. But yeah, because every like last week I didn't get a one, but every week prior that he became a hero, I had got one. Like so, I pulled him on the second week, and then
Ooh.
so week three, or no, I pulled him on like the first week, and then week 2 and 3, I got a bid, and then this week, like the previous week, this last like from 3 to 4, I didn't get one. So yeah, I'm hoping to get one this week, but it sounds like the price keeps going up. I'm gonna have to move that what I want to pay on him up because originally it was like under 0.05. I don't think I'm gonna get that price anymore.
Dude, I wish I would have been smart enough to get him around those prices you were copping him at, because like I said, right now his floor for a common is basically zero point 0.1 ETH, highest bid is 0.07, and the last sale is 0.083. So I don't, unless he has a couple bad weeks in a row, I don't think we're gonna see him below 0.05 anytime soon, bro.
No, and his content's trending the opposite of that, right? His content's only getting better. When he first came in, he was really big into the like threads,
Mm-hmm.
and the really good with his like his hook and then his punchline, and really just I really like when he was on the deck building series, really commended him on it, right? But and then he's really he still does them, but he's really adjusted his content to be almost like a hybrid of the threads, and then like a, a Clemente blend kind of, right? He'll take whatever CT is, and then like is talking about or something he finds inspiration in, and then turn it into a video, right? Like and just like really quickly, and then he's also getting so it takes quite a bit to put like quite a bit of time to like edit videos and stuff, but how he's making it worth his while, right, is he posted on 4 different platforms, so he's actually getting growing all those platforms at the same time, as well as becoming on borderline untouchable on um X.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that analysis. He does vary up his content quite a bit, like you're saying, videos, long form threads, just and on crypto Twitter personalities, on projects, on protocols. So he has such like a wide net that he casts. Unless he just stops posting entirely, it's hard for me to see how he would ever like fall off, and go below really where his averages are at, like scoring wise.
Absolutely, yeah. And the crazy part is Bo let it out on, I think it was like just a random, I don't remember if it was Fantasy Hour or just a random, it might have just been a random space that myself, Bandit, her, uh, Walls, not the hero Whales, but Walls from the fantasy community.
Yeah.
Um, we were all on one and just talking, and then come to find out like Star Platinum, Vo, I think Vo like made a tweet about and like posted this screenshot of like this is the only chat I care to be in, like the VC chat, and it was like it didn't say who was in it. Like on the space, she was kind of telling us who was in it. I think it's like ICO Beast, her, uh, Bandit, Star Platinum, and then like all kind of like those heroes kind of like help each other like during tournaments and stuff, and like they kind of like amp each other up. Like ICO will kind of be like, "Hey, I'm beating you, Bo. You better pick it up, right?" And so like, yeah, man, those heroes that are very fantasy aware are really taking off.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like I know we've talked about it a bunch. I'm sure you and HK have mentioned it, but like it's just that flywheel of, you do well on Twitter, the engagement and posting alone, you're getting paid there, right? If you're like a verified account, you do better in fantasy, so people spend more on your cards, you get a payout from the percentage of that. you get more people engaging with your tweets, which gets you a higher payout for the next one. So if you do it well, it's just like looping profits over and over and over again. So like it's so funny to me that we don't see more heroes kind of take advantage of that, but I'm sure eventually we will see that, as more of them get hip to the game, and especially as more of them come on your show and get onboarded with you and HK and learn about the game and learn how to excel. So, you definitely deserve, a hat tip and give yourself a pat on the back for playing your own part kind of in making them so successful, teaching them about the game and helping them get into it, and then, performing better just for themselves and their communities.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's uh, the most was like literally Star, right? He like right when he became a hero, I think he had signed up for Cloud and didn't really even he kind of knew, but I don't think he realized he was going to become the like a hero right away. And then so he was super receptive, right? On um like, hey, oh yeah, I definitely need to learn this game. What's the best way? And then like since then he's been like you've just been insane. Like he went from basically not playing at all to being like one of the top hero player combos, right? Like he does like what ICO Beast and Bread do, and Vo now too. They like play as competitively as they host, right? So they're like that hero player like dynamic combo, which is super good because
Yeah.
they understand the game, and then they know how they're what they do to make the score high. They can like it's really cool, and I agree. I think there is going to be more and more. One hero, like this is kind of just random. I was looking at before I was looking.
Uh-oh. I think we might have lost you for a second there, Carp. Right before we got to the good part. Who were you looking at? All right, I'll assume you're just driving through an area with no cell service right now. So as soon as I hear the lovely dulcet tones of yours again, hopefully you'll give us that alpha of who you were looking at. Okay, muted, unmuted.
Oh crap! Did I cut out when I was
Yeah,
saying that?
yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I hear you
Did I
loud and
cut out
clear
when I
now.
was saying it?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we heard the hero you're
Okay, yeah.
looking at is, and then you cut out like a horror movie.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I went through some construction. But no, it's legendary. That I think is
Oh,
gonna come in. So, and he's gonna be kind of like a bread style hero. Cause I was looking at the who would be coming in based on clout score right now, and legendary's right there towards the top. And so yeah, that's just someone I'm speculating. I know I got to say this too. Anything I say on here is not to be depicted as from the team. It's just as the player. But yeah, that's just someone I was kind of looking at. Not even knowing if he'll become a hero, but that's someone that me personally I really want to become one. Uh, just because again I like him a lot. Talked to him a lot. Had him on a non-fantasy show that I interviewed him on, and uh, yeah, he works with Bread, him and B-Check as well. I think B-Check will eventually become a hero too, but he's um, doesn't post as much, so I don't think he's more of like the video type, kind of like myself. And so I think Legendary will become a hero first, but that's when I think will be just like Bread. It'll be really, really good.
yeah, I love that take, man. I'm looking at the clout chart right now for the incoming heroes, and he is number three out of like the five that would be onboarded. So yeah, I mean that would be sick. Also a little biased here, but I also follow Legendary. I love a lot of the stuff he posts, collecting, adding to his army of bad buns NFTs. I watch him on his show with, like you said, with B Check and with Bread pretty regularly. So he's definitely a sharp guy, really sharp trader. As well as having some funny meme kind of posts now and then. So I definitely, and it says he'd be around, I think, play 68 or 64th place if he had been in this most recent competition. So that's well above average. So yeah, if Legendary gets in here, I think that's a great shout for someone to maybe look out for some buying on the cheap, because especially if he can be anything like Bread, we've seen Bread kind of string together multiple top 20, top 30 performances. So I think yeah, that's a great shout. I love looking out for legendary there.
Absolutely, and that's one thing I like to do. And I kind of and I didn't really think it was gonna happen because I didn't know a whole lot about. Like I'd followed Star for quite a while, but when the clout first came and like we kind of figured out, like it was announced kind of how it was going to be done, and I had told, I think it was on a space or a tweet or something. I was like, I think if Star keeps it up, he's going to be like a really good hero. If he makes it in, and then like I just like looking at who's coming in, right? Because we kind of know the team said that as of now, or last time they said something, they generally weren't going to let um, like a project in or a like an AIXBT
Mm,
because we kind of seen what happened with Truth Terminal, right? So you can
yeah.
kind of ignore AIXBT when he's up there, um, and so like I really like to look at who's on there, and I don't just check who's in the green, right? Like I'll kind of scroll, like turn that off, kind of look at the like, and then scroll down and kind of like make my own little list of who I think could make it because it's not always
Mm,
going to be like I don't think it'll always be the tops, right? Because we seen last time it wasn't just the top 5 finishers. They kind of curated it, not curated it, but they did it a little different, right? So that it wasn't just like diluting the top of top heroes. They kind of put like we've seen War Daddy come in. He's a lower end hero, and we've seen like Andy, who's kind of like a middle of the pack hero. Well, he's like an upper quadrant, I guess. He's been doing really well.
yeah.
I think he was supposed to be a middle quadrant or middle of the pack, but he's outperforming, which I like. I got one of him, so
Ooh. Yeah, man. No, I love that. That's great analysis. That because you're right. AIXBT, he is kind of looking at the like if the season ended today, right? AIXBT is that number one hero that would come in. But like you said, if the team has kind of said they want to keep away from AI projects or even like projects as a whole, and they really want to onboard real actual people, then that's someone else is going to take that spot that he's filling. And so you kind of got to do a little research on this list to see who do you think that might be? It could give you just that little bit of edge needed to when that person when they go live in a week or two for the new rewards are coming out. You know who that is. You've already researched their profile, their content, and you kind of have an idea of where you want to go, who you want to, how you want to attack him, who to accumulate. Because as we've seen with Star Platinum, I mean, his floor price has basically been pretty much up only. So if you didn't, I mean, the best time to get him was day one. So I think that's a great way to look at it. Kind of when these new heroes release at the end of a season, you need to be ready and know who you want as they go live because really it's those few seconds or minutes make such a big difference of being able to accumulate at like a good price or 2 or even 3x what they might be in a couple of days.
absolutely, yeah. It's like that's kind of like my favorite time to. And the thing is, I don't really trade. I always tell myself, "Oh, I'm going to trade these," but like I never can. Like I got Bo. Like another thing I really like to do is look at heroes that are low. Like I always go through like the bottom quadrant of heroes, and that's how like I kind of found Bo.
Mm.
And then like or like got Bo's like my all my bows I paid for like point her rares were like 0.03. Both of them were around that price. One I upgraded when I just bought. So I think one was like 0.029 or something because I upgraded her. And then um breads I got for around the same price. Like higher end is like 0.034, no, 38, I think. I had two of him, but I did take profits on one of him because I sold him above like 0.12. And that was when he had dropped a little bit. I think he was like a 6 star for the first time after a while when he said he was going to post. So like his price skyrocketed. And I figured, if I want to buy him, I can buy him back cheaper. Um, but I've been doing pretty well with just one of him. I do want to get a couple more though. But that's another good thing. And then like we get to like who we're looking at, that's kind of like a prelude to that too, because there's a couple that I think are going to blow up in the next month or so that are
Ooh.
fairly priced right now.
Ooh, I love that. I love that little tease there. All right, man. Well, before we get there, I'm gonna go ahead and rip my rewards. Because I mean, I'm a degen, right? I'm a bit of a gambler. I call them like I see them, and I know what I am. I can't hold my frags, so I'm gonna burn all 800 of them on some jades, open 8 packs, and cross our fingers and hope we get some of those heroes that I'm looking for. Because like like I said, I've got 1 star platinum. I've got a Fei Zhao, Fei Zhou. I'm not really sure exactly how you say his name, but he's another one of the newer heroes that I've got a comment or two of his. Really hoping I can build them out to upgrade to some rares because I feel like Star, Fei Zhou, they've been pretty much top 20, top 15 heroes nonstop. So I I want some rares of them. Truth be told.
Absolutely. I'm not
So
gonna lie. I'm feeling mad FOMO that I'm not at home to rip
I
sometimes.
know.
So
Yeah. Let's just hope you
I'm
get. Let's
living
hope you get back
vicariously through
home.
you. Exactly.
Okay, 15 seconds here. 15 seconds. But I guess I'm so like I said, I'm looking for stars and Fejos just to be able to upgrade them. But is there anyone else outside of just looking to like market buy? Is there anyone you're hoping to pull? So that you can upgrade a little bit easier, or will you take any top tier hero you can get?
um, yes. So crazy enough, I pulled an Ansem. If I get an Ansem or Greg, I sell them. Um,
Wow. Okay.
I don't because I like those. Their prices are so high, I won't be able to upgrade them.
Fair.
And I
Yeah.
didn't know I'd do that like until I pulled an Ansem, and then it kind of helped with that thesis when he's having problems with his account, and so I was like, his price is still really high. I'm just gonna list him. If he sells, he sells, and he sold. And then I'm like, kind of like was thinking before bed, and I was like, actually, and like I got my notepad that I keep next to my bed and wrote down that rule. So like if I pull Dip would be Dip Wheeler and ICO Beast are the exception there. But Ice or Greg's or Ansem's, I will sell because they're they're consistent, but not consistent like they used to be. Right? They're
Yeah.
consistently top 10, but they're not consistently top 3 anymore. And they're priced like they're still consistently top 3.
Totally. I get that. I mean, it's funny. I don't know how many hundreds of packs I've ripped throughout the course of this game, have not gotten a single Greg or Ansem ever. Like, I mean, which their inflation score is basically like 0.001, but still funny to me that I just I don't think I will ever get one. Just I think that's just how it's gonna be. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong here and now today, but we shall see.
And that's how I was until I pulled that. Uh, it was the first pack I ever opened in V3 too. So like, yeah, and I don't record a lot of my packs, but I just have a feeling. Um, and yeah, I ended up pulling. It was the first card too. Was
That's crazy. I know Ezrin also pulled an Ansem fairly recently as well. I'm not sure if he kept it or upgraded it to a rare. I'm pretty sure he didn't sell it, but we were going pretty crazy when he got that Ansem. Just I mean, you know what it's like that. You pull a card like him, like Greg, or even Dip Wheeler or ICO. It's an instant. What, two, three, $400 basically for one single card. Like it's kind of crazy.
absolutely, yeah. And I sold it and rolled it into, uh, like I think I put it into a cup, like the two more uh, Wall Street bets I needed commons to upgrade, and then I bought a couple more rares, and then so like yeah, it's not like I took it out by any means. I'm really bad at taking anything out of fantasy. It just all stays there forever.
Same, man. Same. Taking profits is not something I've learned how to do very well in my crypto journey, but if there's anywhere I'm not going to do it, it's going to be fantasy, right? I'm just going to keep rolling everything over. Funny enough, I think my pack opening glitched out on me. It's not showing up anywhere, so I'm going to look in my activity, and I have a feeling it might show me there, but we shall see. Okay, failed to load activity. This is fun. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Give me my cards!
This will be the time where you get that instead of just like a calm.
Okay, well, let's see. Activity's not working. Yeah, they're not showing up in the shop for me. My frags are gone, so I have a feeling it just auto opened as it glitched out. But will it be in general activity maybe?
If it's not showing up on in general activity or in your other activity, it's probably just a front end thing, and it's actually like it's on the chain.
Yep.
Um,
Yep, I
would be
see
where
it.
you'd
I
want to
see it
check
here
in.
in general activity. Oh no. Okay. So it
Perfect.
looks like I got a
That doesn't sound good.
yeah. So 8 cards, all commons. Looks like I got a common Scissor, common Arthur, common Evan Van Ness, common Chief Zynga, 2 common altcoin psychos, common Merp, and a common KNV. So not the worst. No real 1 stars, only 1 2 star, and then most of the rest are 3 or 4 stars. So not the worst opening I've ever had. I'll give it that.
Yeah, like the K and V and the Merp's really fallen off, but K and V, I like the K and V's. That's when I've been pulling quite a bit. I'm just gonna upgrade.
Hmm.
I because they're still not back yet, and once they're back from their vacation or time touching grass or whatever, um, yeah, that's I think that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. That's actually my first KNV, so pretty happy with that pull, honestly. And then even like the altcoin psychos. I know he's kind of all over the place, but I do have 6 of those now, so I'm thinking I might try and upgrade that and see if I can get lucky with maybe a skip going, from going up to an epic or even a legendary if Lady Luck is with me.
Have you had any skips?
So funny enough, and it's probably what hooked me. I got to skip. So I mean, I've been in fantasy since day one. I got to skip on day one. I went from I upgraded 5 rare little clear pills and skipped from an epic to a legendary. I mean, and from that moment,
Oh wow,
I was hooked. I've been chasing that ever since, and that's the only skip I've ever had. So
dude, that is nuts. Yeah, I've yet to have a skip, and like every time I get the dopamine of like just like my heart stops because I don't know what it is in my brain. Like every couple few times, like my mind tricks me and I see like the color purple, and then I'm like, oh wait, nope, it's still rare.
right.
But like, yeah, and I haven't burnt near or like upgraded near as many as a lot of people. Like I'm only in like the like I think like I'm under 200, but I think I'm over 150 or something. Um,
Wow.
but it's been quite a few. But at the same time, like it was like I've only time I've ever seen one done. Like actually, like got a feel, and it felt like I felt the rush of it because it was like on live stream. It was when Star Platinum upgraded 5 common bandits and got the skip to Epic.
Oh,
So at
so
least I got to see
crazy.
it once, and it was a dang good card too.
Seriously, Bandit. I mean, Bandit's been crushing it nonstop. Like, GG to him. His content's been on point. His meme game has been on point. So, I mean, he deserves kind of all the success he's had as a hero. So, hats off to him, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, and that's pretty much that started Star's run as like a player. He's easily in the top like 75 each week. I don't know if he has this week. I haven't looked at him the last 2 weeks, but with himself as a legendary, that's a cheat code. Same with Vo having hers and ICOs. Like it's so like when you have your own legendary, like that was giga brained by the team, right? It makes you want to push and be like score well, right?
Yep.
But yeah, then he got that epic bandit for literally like the price of a rare. Like it was actually less than the price of a rare. So yeah, dude, it was so cool to see.
Yeah, looking at this past week, Bandit finished in 28th place. So, not too shabby.
Yeah, he's still underpriced for how consistent high inflation thing there at like during the huddle days. But like his inflation's really low. You don't pull him very often, and also a lot of that supply has been burnt
Yep.
due to the fact of people upgrading him. So I know I upgraded him. At one point, I had 3 of his rares, which I upgraded all of them. So from well, yeah, I upgraded 3 of them because and then I ended up buying one. So if I would have kept everything, I would have had like 4 or 5 of them at once. But now I have like 1 or 2, um, because his price there for a while would fluctuate enough to where you could almost like scalp trade it, and
Yep.
then I would do that to like buy other stuff, in like other cards and stuff. So I don't do that no more. I got burnt a few times doing that, so I quit doing it.
Oh, I feel you there, man. I feel you there. Uh, but yeah, so I wanted to kind of point out a couple of things here. I mentioned earlier the floor is basically up to 0.004 thanks to Otto Suwen just going ham on some sweeps. I mean, I'm looking through the activity. I've got that pulled up now, and that's you basically see his name every other line. He's either buying or burning, opening more packs. I mean, Otto is just he is accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. So he is a true believer in fantasy. You love to see that. Um, and then we had another super interesting piece of data that the Molt kind of let us all know. He had a post right after the tournament started. We have a new all-time high in decks submitted at 26,800, which is up almost 1,700 decks. So that was really cool to see. And then we also had 32 brand new players and over almost 300 more players entered cards for the tournament than last week. So honestly, man, like this is adoption in real time. Like this is people getting excited about the base activation, people kind of I'm sure playing the free to play version in the base app, kind of wanting to get real skin in the game. Um, two other pieces of super interesting data he noted were that there were 52 players who played that haven't played since Blast TGE, and then 23 players who haven't played since 2024. So, like, people are excited, man. You can feel the energy is like in the air. It's all on crypto Twitter. Obviously, our algos are going to be pretty tailored to us, but it's basically just fantasy top heroes and creators like yourself and Molt, putting in the work and show and onboarding and just be getting the public excited about it, showing them the power of fantasy top and everything that it can be. So I I don't know how you feel about that, but like I could not be more bullish just about the prospects of the future, seeing all the right kind of numbers going up, floor price, active players, decks, new players onboarded. Like I mean, it's up only right now, man, and it feels like a great time to be in fantasy, truly.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely, and the thing is, like I kind of said earlier, uh, it's a, only the beginning of that too, right? It's like retail's not here. I mean, it's just, and the something 710 said in one of his tweets, and I wish I was home to uh, like find the tweet and like send it to you, but it's I think it was like last week he said, um, just wait until it run. Like this is just paraphrasing, but kind of wait until fantasy does the top shot run, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that is definitely going to happen. It's not if, it's when. Um, and it's gonna be insane when that happens.
And I could not agree more, dude. Like, I were you around in Top Shot, a few years ago when
Yeah.
that was all kicking off?
Yo,
Yeah.
that's what
So
got me hooked with
yeah,
NFTs.
same exact thing, man. So I had like, and I feel that same kind of energy with Fantasy Top, right? So I feel like that's not like a bad comparison or analogy to make. I think it's really like I think it's super apt, and I think we're gonna see that flashpoint moment where people look at this like the DFS community, right? And they say, oh, I do this all day, every day with fantasy football or fantasy basketball, soccer, like the millions of people across the globe that play fantasy sports. And they're going to say, oh, I can, I don't ever have to have like a quote unquote off season, right? Because, I mean, the past couple of months, it's been the off season for the NFL. So all those big sharps and touts who are used to playing fantasy sports, fantasy top is year round, baby. There is no off season. Come get a piece of the pie. Come enjoy what we've been enjoying for well over a year. Like it will happen. Base is just another step in getting the entire public excited and jazzed about it and really just like spreading the awareness and like it's oh man, it's so exciting. It's never been a better time to be a Fantardio, dude. Like I truly believe that.
Absolutely. I did just realize that I'm gonna give a couple of my picks quick, and then I need to bounce here shortly and get prepped for, and also like haul butt, because uh, right after this I have a live stream with Serpentax, and so
Ooh.
I'm gonna need to like haul butt and make the StreamYard app from the phone or StreamYard Studio from the phone.
Of
So,
course, man. Is
uh,
it a fantasy related stream or something else?
it's just like a general talk. I am gonna bring up fantasy, because he was on the deck building series.
Yeah.
He played back in the early blast days and then came back and we kind of caught him up at everything. But yeah, I'll be picking his brain about like InfoFi, Ethos, because I'm really bullish on Ethos, and then also fantasy, how he's been doing, kind of um, the tie between fantasy and Ethos. Yeah, so it'll be sweet. I was hoping I was gonna be home so I could be multitasking and staying on the show while I'm setting up the studio, but people are driving slow.
Oh man, I feel you. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let me hear who you're eyeing up. I've got the marketplace pulled up so I can show any cards. I can give shout out some prices or anything. But yeah, let me no pressure. Hop when you gotta hop. But let's hear it, man. Who are you targeting? Who is Carpenter got his eye on for the next coming weeks and months?
Yep. So one thing I like to look for is like coming narratives. One of the coming narratives, which has kind of started and then cooled off, is NFTs. They didn't cool off a lot, but they kind of did a little bit. But I think we still haven't seen a full back yet. I think we will in the next month or two. So that puts one that's already really high is like Whale Mocha, but on like almost like a beta play to him, and not even really a beta play because I is Loki. Loki's just right above floor, and soon unless his price goes up, he's gonna be at floor because it's like floor is rising, and so
Hmm.
I've been bidding him, and it's to the point where I think like after the Serpentix thing, I'm just gonna have to sweep the last few I need because now it's out there. But so Loki, there's also one that is floor, and this one is a little less risk reward, or a little like there's like no risk and there's only upside because he is a floor hero.
Yeah.
And that's Little Moon Lambo. Because worst case scenario, he doesn't come back. He's been trending upwards right now, but worst case scenario, he doesn't come back. Like I think he's going to continue to trend upwards, and then he is still just the floor hero. But I feel like he's going more towards not like quite back where he was, but if you look. I don't know where he scored this week. I think it was a bit lower, but like the 2 weeks prior, he was kind of getting up out of the hundreds,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I think he's one I'm looking to make a rare out of. I think I've got three of him. Um, Especially those who like if you already have one or two of him. Like a different one, definitely wouldn't recommend just like throwing him out and selling him on bid. I mean, if you want to, you can because I have bids on him. But like, don't burn him or anything because like I think he's gonna be useful. Um, but yeah, he's another one, and then also, oh crap, who's the other? There's one more other one I want to talk about. That is Easy Eats. Easy Eats is uh, so kind of the reason I think he's fallen off a little bit is he's used to stream every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern on X only. Then he's moved it over to Kick, and so that kind of took a lot of his views, and so it gave us this opportunity to like where his inflation hasn't went up real high, but his score has came down enough to where people aren't like. The thing is, he doesn't even score that bad. He's still like scoring in the middle of the pack, but people don't see that, right? So his price has dropped quite a bit. So I'm bidding him around the 0.01 for commons, and then I usually don't bid a lot of rares. I just like to make rares. I like that. That's how I get my dopamine.
Yeah.
Is upgrading, but yeah, like um, if his like it clearly if the rare's more less expensive than the five commons, even especially if it's at bid price, I'll definitely grab a rare. But yeah, Easy's another one. Nick was one, but he's now like that thesis played out because I knew that the reason Nick had went down is because he was building that his chooserich.live app, and once that was complete, I knew he was going to be back, and now we see he is. So I think Easy's going to be kind of the same thing. He said on his thing this morning, on his live this morning, I went and watched that he is going to be posting more of his DC on X instead of just doing it in the videos,
Gotcha.
which
No, I
those always do really well.
I love that, man. I think it was either last week or the week before that all three of the Bodago boys, Nick, Easy, and Clemente, all finished top 15. So I think that's a great shout. Any and all of them can go viral basically any day of the week. So yeah, I think those are great shouts. And yeah, I love that, man. I think I've got Nick and Easy, both at least commons, if not rares. So I think I'll leave those for you to bid on, but I do love those shouts for sure.
Absolutely. All right, brother. I'm gonna have to bounce, but thank you so much for having me.
Dude, absolutely no. Thank you, Carpenter. I really appreciate you making the time to come on here, especially I know you've had a crazy morning. You've been driving, so thank you so much, brother. Let the people know you've got a stream coming up at what time today with Serp.
It is right after this. So like, what time is it? So my time it's at 2, so it's 3 p.m. Eastern. Um, so literally we'll start in like 10 minutes.
Amazing. Awesome. I'll make sure I tune in over there, so I'll hop on that stream. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, give a round of applause to Carpenter and make sure you join his stream in 10 minutes here. Thank you, Carp. Have a great day, brother, and we will talk to you soon.
Yep. See you, brother. Thank you.
Peace. All right, folks. Carp gave his picks there. And, I really love everything he's talking about, especially that narrative with NFTs making a comeback. We've seen a lot of volume coming in on those. We've even seen, some speculation that some funds are going, could potentially begin accumulating NFTs. You know, Definitely there's, for anyone, not familiar with some of the more tradfi kind of goings on, there are ETFs in the works for the Pudgy Penguins Pengu token, as well as Penguin NFTs. So that's an easy candidate. So any of the big penguin related influencers could be a great shout for that. And as well as just any of the big NFT accounts, like Carp was saying, especially Whale Mocha. He's always been big into NFTs. So yeah, as always, Ezra and I kind of try and focus on what are the dominating narratives that are going to come out. Big product launches, protocol launches, token launches, right? Any of those things. Alon has been huge, almost top 5 or 10 finishes for a few weeks now off the back of the Pump Fund token launch. So you really got to be kind of forward looking, right? What is coming up? Who will, have a reason to be in the news for any of those sorts of things? Web3 Quant, another one, as we've had huge movements in really just all tokens, but especially altcoins the last few weeks. Web3 Quant has had, some really strong activity there. So definitely some people to look out for. And what is this? We had a random 710 appear. 710 GM, bro. Oh, I think that might be I think that might be baby 710. Oh. Here, I'm gonna mute you 710 just because I think that might be accidental. I hear a little baby singing there, which is cute as can be, but maybe not the best fantasy advice. But folks, that is about all that I have for today. Last thing that I would maybe mention is that we are on the cusp of season 3 being over. So I'm gonna come over here to the Clout show. Do do do. We are going into tournament 5 of season 3. So we've got this week and next week, or sorry, next week and the following week as tournaments, and then we will have new heroes. So, like Carp and I were saying, maybe a good idea to look at some of these heroes, see who might be inbound, who might be getting the new hero pump, strategize, hone in on who you think might be a good addition to your own lineups and portfolios. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate everyone. Almost 500 viewers, so thank you all. It means the world to me. And until next time, this has been Fantasy Top Down, presented by Metaverse HQ. I am Silva Surger. We got 710 and possibly his baby, as well as Carpenter of Web3. Until next week, folks, have a great rest of your days. Peace.